what was it that I wanted to say? And it turns out it was about women. And I just never knew that. I always felt like I had something, like I wanted to stand up and say something really like big, and just like there was injustice in the world and I didn't know what it was. I had this fire inside me, and it turns out it was always about women. And and now that I've come into that, I feel like I've come into my own in such an amazing, revolutionary way. It happened when I was 22, and it was absolutely incredible. I feel like my life has changed in such a strong way. It's amazing.
For me, what's of interest in that is what happened at 22 and how the growth happened. For anyone that's listening who is still working on finding their voice, was there a specific incident that happened when you were 22 where you just thought, fuck this? Was it a series of things that happened?
I think a lot of women will agree that if they ever went to university, there was a sudden shift in the way that they thought. I was fully under the spell of the patriarchy, and I really genuinely believed that, these feminists were just busybodies who wanted attention. And I went to university, and I cannot explain what it was, the sort of paradigm shift in my brain of just realizing that it was all for profit. I realized that all of this energy and mental hatred I'd had for my body throughout my life was all for profit. I was lining the pockets of rich men who wanted to capitalize off of my insecurities and abuse my body for their own gain. And it absolutely, I was so, can I swear on here? I was so,
yes,
I assume so. I was so fucking mad. I was absolutely furious. And I just, realizing that completely changed how I felt about my body. And I realized that this thing that, like, this body that I exist in is a vulnerable thing, and it's at my mercy. And all I'd done, like, my whole life, I had berated it, bullied it, starved it, abused it, just been awful to it in an attempt to try and make it fit into some hypothetical parameter of what a man who probably wasn't planning on texting me back either way, so that he could, like, look upon me and be like, yes, I am pleased with this. Like, what kind of goal is that to aspire to? My grandma told your grandma, I'm gonna set the plane on fire.